Welcome to the path to Buddhist wisdom. In a world filled with endless noise, have you ever wondered about the transformative power of silence? Today, we'll explore how embracing stillness can unlock deeper awareness, bring clarity to our thoughts, and connect us with the essence of life itself. Through timeless teachings and inspiring stories, discover why silence is not emptiness, it's a doorway to inner peace. Let's begin this journey into the profound wisdom of quietude. Part 1. The hidden power of silence. Have you ever stopped to think about the role silence plays in your life? Not just the absence of sound, but true, intentional silence. In Buddhism, silence isn't simply the lack of noise, it's a powerful practice that connects us to deeper wisdom and inner peace. Today, let's uncover the transformative nature of silence and how it can lead us to clarity, self-awareness, and balance in a chaotic world. The essence of silence in Buddhism. In Buddhist teachings, silence is more than just a practice, it's a profound state of being. Known as noble silence, it represents a quiet mind, free from the constant chatter of judgments, fears, and desires. The Buddha himself often used silence as a teaching tool. For instance, when he first met his 5 disciples after achieving enlightenment, he didn't utter a single word. Instead, his presence in stillness communicated a truth that transcended language. Silence, as described in Buddhist philosophy, is not about avoiding the world. It's about creating space within ourselves to observe and understand. It's through this silence that we can begin to hear what's truly important, the patterns of our mind, the nature of our emotions, and the wisdom that lies beneath our thoughts. The challenges of embracing silence. In today's fast-paced world, silence can feel uncomfortable, even daunting. We're constantly surrounded by noise, the buzz of notifications, the hum of daily responsibilities, and the endless chatter of our inner dialogue. This constant stream of information often drowns out our ability to reflect and be present. Take a moment to imagine sitting quietly for 5 minutes, no phone, no music, no distractions. For many, this exercise feels unnatural, even unnerving. Why? Because silence forces us to face ourselves. It brings forth thoughts and emotions we may have been suppressing. Yet, this discomfort is part of the process. Just as muddy water settles when left undisturbed, our minds begin to clear when we sit in stillness. The benefits of silence. Stress reduction. Silence acts as a reset button for the mind. In just a few minutes of quiet, we allow ourselves to release built-up tension and let go of the mental clutter that weighs us down. Self-awareness. By sitting in silence, we gain insight into our thoughts and feelings. We begin to notice recurring patterns, our fears, desires, and triggers, helping us understand ourselves on a deeper level. Clarity and focus. Silence helps us strip away distractions, revealing what truly matters. It's in this stillness that we find solutions to problems and rediscover our priorities. A story to inspire. There's a well-known Buddhist story about a young monk struggling to find peace. He sought wisdom from his teacher, asking, "Why can't I quiet my mind?" The teacher smiled and handed him a jar of muddy water. "Sit with this jar," the teacher said, "and let the mud settle." The monk sat in silence, observing the water. Over time, the sediment sank to the bottom, and the water became clear. The teacher then explained, "Your mind is like this jar. Only when you allow it to be still will you see its true nature." Takeaway for modern life. Silence is not about isolating yourself from the world, it's about reconnecting with your true self. Whether you're walking in nature, practicing mindful breathing, or simply taking a moment to pause during a busy day. Silence is always within reach. By embracing it, you give yourself the space to listen, grow, and transform. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into practical ways to integrate silence into your daily life and explore its role in overcoming challenges and finding lasting inner peace. Stay tuned as we continue this journey into the profound wisdom of silence. Part 2. Practical ways to embrace silence in daily life. In the hustle of modern living, cultivating silence might seem like a luxury. But what if it were a necessity? Silence is not just a retreat, it's a tool for transformation. In this section, let's explore practical ways to incorporate silence into your daily routine and learn how this practice can bring profound peace and clarity. 1. Starting your day with silence. How we begin our mornings often sets the tone for the entire day. Instead of reaching for your phone or rushing into tasks, consider dedicating the first few moments after waking up to quiet reflection. This could be as simple as sitting on your bed, taking deep breaths, and observing the sensations in your body. A popular Buddhist practice is mindful breathing. Here's how you can do it. Sit comfortably in a quiet space. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale slowly. Focus entirely on your breath, its rhythm, its depth, its temperature. Doing this for just 5 minutes each morning can ground you, creating a foundation of calmness and focus that lasts throughout the day. 2. Silent breaks during the day. Amid the chaos of daily life, taking intentional silent breaks can be transformative. These pauses don't require elaborate preparation or extended periods of time. A few minutes of silence between meetings, during a coffee break, or while commuting can work wonders. For example, at work, before responding to an email or starting a new task, close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Let the silence guide your next step. In transit, instead of scrolling through your phone during your commute, try observing the world around you in silence. Notice the details, the colors of the trees, the patterns of movement, the play of light and shadow. These micro moments of silence help you reset, enabling you to approach tasks with greater clarity and focus. 3. Silence through meditation. Meditation is one of the most powerful ways to immerse yourself in silence. In Buddhist tradition, meditation is not about emptying the mind but about observing it without judgment. Here's a simple meditation practice to get you started. Find a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be disturbed. Sit in a relaxed but upright position. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. When thoughts arise, and they will, simply acknowledge them without engaging. Gently return your focus to your breath. Start with 5 to 10 minutes a day, gradually increasing the duration as you feel comfortable. With consistent practice, you'll find that this silent time becomes a refuge, a space where you can reconnect with your true self. 4. Incorporating silence in relationships. Silence isn't just an individual practice, it can also deepen our connections with others. Often, we feel the need to fill every pause in conversation with words. But intentional silence can foster a stronger bond. Listening with presence when someone is speaking. Resist the urge to formulate your response immediately. Instead, practice active listening. Pay attention to their words, tone, and emotions. Silence in these moments allows for deeper understanding and empathy. Shared quiet time. Spend time with loved ones in silence. Whether it's walking together in nature, meditating side by side, or simply sitting in stillness, These shared moments can strengthen relationships without the need for words. 5. Silence and nature. Nature offers one of the most profound settings for silence. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, or the rhythmic sound of waves, all these natural silences have a calming effect on the mind. Walking meditation. This involves walking slowly and mindfully, paying attention to each step and the sensations it brings. As you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet and observe your surroundings without judgment. Silent retreats in nature, if time permits. Consider attending a silent retreat or spending a day in nature without distractions. Such experiences can be deeply restorative, helping you reconnect with yourself and the world around you. 6. Overcoming the fear of silence. For many, silence can be intimidating. It confronts us with our thoughts and emotions, which can feel overwhelming. But this confrontation is a gift. It's an opportunity to process and heal. If you're new to silence and feel uneasy about it, start small. Begin with just 1 minute of quiet reflection each day. Gradually increase the duration as you grow more comfortable. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel discomfort. It's a sign of growth. The role of silence in difficult times. Silence is especially powerful during moments of uncertainty, stress, or grief. When life feels overwhelming, turning to silence allows us to pause, reflect, and gain perspective. Buddhist teachings emphasize that silence helps us see things as they truly are, rather than through the lens of our fears or biases. It creates space for acceptance and compassion, both for ourselves and others. Closing thoughts. Embracing silence in a noisy world is a radical act of self-care and mindfulness. It's a practice that requires patience and persistence but yields incredible rewards, clarity, peace, and a deeper connection to life itself. As you incorporate silence into your daily routine, remember that it's not about achieving perfection. There will be days when your mind feels chaotic or when silence feels uncomfortable, and that's okay. The journey itself is where the growth happens. In the next part, we'll explore how silence intertwines with Buddhist wisdom, helping us navigate challenges and cultivate compassion in our everyday lives. Stay tuned for more insights. Part 3. Silence as the gateway to Buddhist wisdom. Buddhism teaches us that silence is more than the absence of sound. It is a profound state of awareness and understanding. Through silence, we transcend surface-level distractions and delve into the heart of our existence. In this part, we will explore how silence acts as a gateway to Buddhist wisdom, illuminating the truths of impermanence, suffering, and the path to liberation. 1. Silence and the nature of reality. In Buddhism, the concept of impermanence, anicca, reminds us that everything is in a constant state of change. Silence allows us to observe this truth directly. When we sit quietly, we notice the rise and fall of our breath, the fleeting nature of our thoughts, and the ever-shifting sensations in our bodies. Through this practice, we realize that clinging to permanence, whether it be material possessions, relationships, or even ideas, leads to suffering, dukkha. Silence helps us accept impermanence with grace, fostering a sense of inner peace and freedom. Practice observing change in silence. Sit quietly in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Notice how each inhale and exhale is unique. Expand your awareness to include sounds, sensations, or emotions, observing how they arise and fade away. This simple practice helps you experience impermanence firsthand, deepening your understanding of life's transient nature. 2. Silence and inner awareness. Buddhist teachings emphasize that true wisdom comes from within, Silence creates the perfect conditions for introspection, allowing us to connect with our inner selves and uncover deeper truths. The role of Vipassana. Vipassana, or insight meditation, is a practice that uses silence to cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness. By observing our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment, we gain insight into the nature of suffering and the causes of our struggles. How to practice. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. As thoughts or emotions arise, observe them without trying to change or suppress them. Notice patterns. What thoughts repeat? What feelings linger? Gradually, you'll begin to see the roots of your suffering and the ways in which you can let go. Silence in Vipassana is not an end in itself, it is a tool to uncover wisdom that leads to liberation. 3. Silence and compassion. Silence is a powerful ally in cultivating compassion. By silencing our reactive tendencies, judging, blaming, or criticizing, we create space for understanding and empathy. Listening without ego. When we listen to others in silence, we truly hear their struggles, joys, and fears. This practice, often referred to as deep listening, is central to Buddhist teachings on compassion, karuna. Practice for deep listening. When someone speaks, focus entirely on their words without planning your response. Notice their tone, body language, and the emotions behind their words. Respond thoughtfully, not to fix but to affirm and support their experience. Over time, silent listening becomes a way to connect more deeply with others, nurturing relationships and reducing conflict. 4. The wisdom of noble silence. In Buddhist tradition, the term noble silence refers to the practice of refraining from unnecessary speech, particularly idle chatter and gossip. This silence is not an avoidance of communication, but a commitment to meaningful and mindful interaction. How to practice noble silence. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this true? Is this necessary? Is this kind? Practice mindful speech, ensuring that your words align with your intentions and values. In moments of anger or frustration, pause in silence before responding. This practice cultivates mindfulness in communication, reducing misunderstandings and promoting harmony. 5. Silence as a path to liberation. Buddhist wisdom teaches that silence leads to liberation by helping us detach from the illusions of the self. When we sit in silence, we confront the ego, the part of us that clings to identity, possessions, and desires. The practice of letting go. In silence, observe your thoughts. Notice how many are centered around I, me, or mine. Reflect on the impermanence of these thoughts and identities. Who were you 5 years ago? How have you changed? Gradually, let go of rigid attachments to the self, embracing the interconnectedness of all beings. This practice aligns with the Buddhist concept of anatta, non-self, leading to greater freedom and inner peace. 6. Silence in monastic life. In Buddhist monasteries, silence is a core aspect of daily life. Monastics often observe periods of complete silence to deepen their practice and minimize distractions. Lessons from monastic silence. Mindful presence. Monastics use silence to remain fully present in each activity, from eating to cleaning to meditating. Community harmony. By reducing unnecessary speech, they foster an environment of peace and mutual respect. Spiritual growth. Silence provides the stillness needed to explore profound truths and insights. While we may not live in monasteries, we can incorporate these lessons into our own lives by creating regular periods of silence and approaching our activities with mindfulness. 7. The ultimate silence, nirvana. In Buddhism, the ultimate goal is nirvana, a state of liberation from suffering and the cycles of birth and death. Nirvana is often described as the ultimate silence, where the noise of desires, attachments, and ego ceases entirely. Experiencing a glimpse of nirvana. While achieving nirvana may feel distant, moments of deep silence can offer a taste of this profound peace. In these moments, the mind becomes still, and we experience a sense of unity with the world around us. Practice, during meditation. Focus not on achieving anything but on simply being. Let go of expectations and surrender to the silence. Closing reflections. Silence is not an escape, it is a homecoming. Through silence, we uncover the truths of impermanence, non-self, and the path to liberation. It helps us navigate the complexities of life with wisdom, compassion, and grace. As you continue your journey with silence, remember that the path is as important as the destination. Each moment of quiet reflection brings you closer to understanding yourself and the world around you. In the next part, we will explore how silence can be a source of strength in facing life's challenges, providing practical strategies for cultivating resilience and inner peace. Part 4. Silence as strength in life's challenges. Life is filled with moments of uncertainty, pain, and difficulty. In Buddhism, silence serves as a wellspring of strength to help us face these challenges with grace and resilience. By embracing silence, we cultivate a deeper understanding of our emotions, a capacity for mindful response, and an inner calm that remains unshaken by external circumstances. In this part, we'll explore how silence empowers us in times of struggle and equips us with tools to overcome life's obstacles. 1. Silence as a space for reflection. When faced with challenges, our first instinct is often to react, whether through words, actions, or even avoidance. Silence, however, invites us to pause and reflect. It provides a space where we can observe the situation without judgment and gain clarity before deciding how to respond. The power of the pause. Silence acts as a buffer between stimulus and reaction. In this pause, we find freedom to choose a mindful response rather than an impulsive one. By taking a moment of silence during conflict or stress, we gain perspective and reduce the likelihood of regretful actions or words. Practice the 3-breath pause. In moments of stress, stop what you're doing. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. With each breath, silently remind yourself, pause, observe, choose. This practice helps you ground yourself and approach challenges with a clear and balanced mind. 2. Silence and emotional resilience. Difficult emotions such as anger, fear, or sadness can overwhelm us, clouding our judgment and disrupting our peace. Silence allows us to sit with these emotions, acknowledging them without becoming consumed by them. Acknowledging pain without resistance. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises not from pain itself but from our resistance to it. When we fight or suppress our emotions, they often intensify. Silence gives us permission to feel fully, letting the waves of emotion pass naturally. Practice sitting with emotions. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Bring to mind a challenging emotion you are experiencing. Observe the emotion as if you were a compassionate witness. Where is it in your body? What does it feel like? Avoid labeling the emotion as good or bad. Simply allow it to exist. Through this practice, you develop emotional resilience, learning to face discomfort with courage and acceptance. 3. Silence in the face of conflict. Arguments and disagreements are an inevitable part of life. In these moments, silence can be a powerful tool for de-escalation and understanding. Instead of reacting with defensiveness or aggression, silence helps us listen deeply and respond wisely. Listening as a form of wisdom. By remaining silent in heated moments, we create space for understanding. This silence is not passive but intentional, showing respect for the other person's perspective. Listening in silence also allows us to detect underlying emotions or unmet needs that words alone cannot convey. Practice mindful conflict resolution. During a disagreement, pause and take a deep breath before speaking. Listen without interrupting or formulating your response. When it's your turn to speak, do so with clarity and compassion. This approach fosters mutual respect and opens the door to peaceful resolutions. 4. Silence as a source of inner strength. Beneath the noise of our daily lives lies a reservoir of strength. This strength arises from our ability to connect with our inner selves, free from external distractions. Silence allows us to tap into this wellspring, nurturing our capacity for perseverance and self-reliance. The role of solitude. In Buddhism, periods of solitude are seen as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By retreating into silence, we cultivate a sense of wholeness that does not depend on external validation or circumstances. Practice silent retreats. Dedicate a few hours, a day, or even a weekend to silence. During this time, refrain from speaking, using devices, or engaging in unnecessary activities. Focus on simple practices like meditation, journaling, or walking in nature. These retreats, even when brief, rejuvenate your spirit and strengthen your resolve to face life's challenges. 5. Silence as a healing force. Silence has a profound ability to heal emotional wounds. By sitting in stillness, we allow suppressed feelings to surface and begin the process of release. In Buddhist practice, silence is often used to process grief, loss, and trauma, offering a safe space for healing. Embracing silence after loss. When words feel inadequate, silence provides solace. It gives us the freedom to mourn without the pressure of explanation or justification. Silence also helps us connect with the memory of loved ones, fostering a sense of presence even in their absence. Practice silent remembrance. Light a candle or sit in a meaningful space. In silence, bring to mind the person or experience you are grieving. Allow yourself to feel whatever arises: sadness, gratitude, love. End the practice by sending thoughts of compassion to yourself and others who may be grieving. 6. Building endurance through silence. Life's challenges often test our patience and endurance. Silence teaches us to endure not by resisting challenges but by flowing with them. Finding stillness in chaos. Even in the busiest moments, silence can be found. It might be the stillness between breaths, the quiet of a morning, or the pause before a decision. By cultivating awareness of these moments, we strengthen our ability to remain centered amidst life's turbulence. Practice daily moments of silence. Start or end your day with 5 minutes of silence. During this time, focus solely on your breath or the sounds around you. Gradually, extend this practice to other parts of your day, such as during a commute or before meals. These small acts of silence accumulate, building resilience over time. 7. Silence and the path forward. In Buddhism, silence is not merely a refuge, it is a guide. It leads us toward greater understanding, compassion, and strength. By embracing silence, We equip ourselves to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and equanimity. As we conclude this part, reflect on how silence has played a role in your own moments of difficulty. How has it helped you find clarity, strength, or peace? In the next part, we will delve into practical strategies for integrating silence into our daily routines, making it a natural and transformative part of our lives. PHN 5: The long-term benefits of silence. As you continue integrating silence into your life, its long-term benefits become even more apparent. At first, it may seem like a small, isolated practice, a few moments of stillness here. One of the most profound benefits of cultivating silence is emotional regulation. In the hustle of daily life, it's easy for emotions to take over. Whether it's frustration, stress, or anxiety, these emotions can quickly snowball, affecting our decisions and relationships. However, through the practice of silence, we create the space necessary to process these emotions without letting them dictate our actions. By pausing and sitting with our feelings in silence, we begin to respond rather than react. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather acknowledging them with awareness and compassion, allowing us to process them in a more balanced way. Another lasting effect of silence is increased mindfulness. The more we practice silence, the better we become at staying present. This mindfulness extends to all aspects of our lives, from simple tasks like eating and walking to complex ones like having conversations or handling challenges at work. With silence, we learn to be fully present with whatever is happening in the moment, without being distracted by our inner commentary or external noises. The ultimate result of this practice is a profound sense of peace and clarity that becomes an integral part of your daily existence. When you're no longer constantly overwhelmed by external stimulation or mental clutter, you're able to tap into a deeper well of inner wisdom and guidance. This clarity empowers you to make decisions that align with your true values, not the fleeting demands of your environment or emotions. It offers a peaceful perspective on life's challenges, allowing you to approach them with a sense of calm rather than stress. In the long term, silence helps to transform your inner world, leading to greater spiritual growth and a deeper connection with yourself. It's a journey toward a balanced, peaceful existence, one where you are not merely surviving, but thriving, in alignment with your true nature. Call to action. If you've found this journey into the power of silence insightful and are eager to dive deeper into Buddhist wisdom, don't forget to subscribe to the Path to Buddhist Wisdom. Here, we explore powerful teachings and practices that help you grow spiritually and live with greater peace, mindfulness, and purpose. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Join our community and let's continue this transformative journey together. Your path to wisdom and inner peace starts with just one step, and it begins right here, right now. Subscribe now.